My people, it's about that time.
Like a boss.
Live from the USA, helping you get paid every day. This is the boss of Bitcoin, the Cristo of crypto. It's your boy BK. And if you don't like me, you must not like money. Thank you for joining me, everybody. Today, we are looking at silver, precious metals, the gold to silver ratio, and answering the question, should you buy silver? Is now the time to convert some of that worthless fiat into a few ounces of AG 9995. It's a lot of speculation happening around precious metals right now, and so I'm going to cover that on this channel and hopefully help you make money during the greatest transformation of wealth in the history of humanity. So if this is your first time tuning in, congratulations, baby. You are now rocking with the best. My name is BK, also known as a crypto trader, and I'm the boss of these charts, as you will soon find out. Every day I grace this microphone with my voice is another day you get to profit as a result, and today is no exception. So if you haven't done it already, smash that like button. We giving away free Bitcoin. It's Free Bitcoin Friday. Turn your notifications on. Let's go ahead and make this money. Every single video I do, you got two ways to win free Bitcoin. The first is to text this number right here, join to 202-988-1079. The second way is to rep your city. Shout out your city in the comments. Every Friday, I'm going through and picking winners for each category. So I'm jumping over here in the other window, and we're going to pick a winner for our text message. I'm trying to see what's the best way to do this without giving anyone's phone number away. Let's see. It's hard for me to do it, but if your number ends, and I need to validate, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick the winner now. Their phone number ends in 0107, and I'm going to text them. I should have did this already. You know, I'll put it in tomorrow's video. I'll put the screenshot of our communication, but I'll text them that they won. But you'll see it in the next video. But, that's my bad. I forgot it was a text in, and I needed to do it before I hit the record button. But we gonna keep it on wheels and keep on rolling. The phone number that won again ends in 0107. I'm gonna have a screenshot of that dialogue to send them some Bitcoin in the next video. But one thing we can do, we can go to the comments, right? We can pick a comment from somebody. During our last videos, we have 5 videos to pick from. So let's do a random number generator. Actually, let's do a dice roll, right? Because we'll just X out 6, given that we do a 5-sided dice. There you go. There you go. Look at that. Look at that. Roll 1 time. Ready, go. Number 2. So let's jump over, see what is number 2. That is the what's next for Bitcoin, right? Let's jump to our videos. Let's pick our winner. Silence that voice right there. Pick our winner. We got 7 comments. It looks like all of them were real comments. That's pretty cool. That doesn't happen too often. What day is it? 7/11. 11 minus 7 is 4. We go 4 from the top. 1, 2, 3. Is this a real person? Is this a real person? I'm going to skip it and say this guy right here. I don't want to give free Bitcoin to a bot, and if you're a real person, just let me know and I'll send you some Bitcoin too. But my man PG Larry Bowers 12, right? You are the free Bitcoin winner. Shoot me your Bitcoin wallet. There you go, right? So this is my man, PG Larry Bowers, 12. That was my number, football number in high school, number 12. You know what I'm saying? Great number, great number. So there you go. That's our free Bitcoin winner. And again, I'm going to text the person ending in 0107 to let them know they want some free Bitcoin as well. Bam! It's just that easy to get paid, guys. My name's Brandon Kelly, and I've been giving out free Bitcoin for the last 7 years. Where you been? In the early days, it was my way to encourage people to download a wallet, set up Coinbase, yada, 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 make some money like a boss. And now I just share the wealth. I developed a very, very, very simple methodology to measure momentum in the market. And we ride them waves like the Silver Surfer, right? So let's go ahead and, speaking of silver, let's jump on silver, right? I've told you in my last few videos, there are several different asset classes that Wall Street puts their money into. And as a result, there are several different asset classes you should consider, investing in as well. This is one of them. Precious metals are a huge, huge market, right? What is the precious metals market? A few $1 trillion, I would imagine, right? It's crazy how much money is still running in and out of gold and silver every day. And most recently, silver had a pretty big breakout. These are some of the other alternatives for precious metals. You got gold sitting north of $2,400. Palladium, I remember looking at this and I thought that was going to be a pretty good chart. Platinum is sitting at 1,000 an ounce. Silver, $31.37 per ounce. You got crude oil rounding up right up under 100, aluminum, lead, nickel. But these are different, commodities that investors speculate on, right? I think one of the best opportunities may be silver, and that's why I'm doing this video. If you've been following my channel, I've been an advocate for silver for quite some time. I think I did one of my first buy silver videos right around there, right? Between $16 and $15. I think I might even say get something down when it was around 21, 22. Right? But most definitely right here, $16, $15 was a very, very, very good buying opportunity. When we look at where we're at right now, let's go back in time and freestyle on a Fibonacci. These are the levels that silver has built into itself, right? Right here, we just really broke out of this suppression zone between the 2.2 and the 2.4. And now it looks like silver is clean and clear to run all the way up to 33. Keep in mind, this is basically where we ran into a major fall off. So it's not like silver is going to break through 33 and, tread up like Bitcoin does. This is going to be a pretty big suppression window. But once it gets above that threshold level, then it's pretty clear sailing to replicate a double top north of $42. What are you looking at profit-wise? When that happens right now, you still got 11% again to hit the 3.2, and after that, you're sitting north of 40%. Keep in mind, these are dollars, but one of the things I think is very important to recognize is this is an alternative, a supplement to your crypto investing, right? And especially if you look at like the last, 6 months, silver, just in 2024, silver is up, it opened the year right here at $23, and today is sitting at 31. That is a significant run for precious metals. It doesn't seem like much when you're talking blockchain. We can make 20-30% in a month sometimes, but for precious metals, that is significant. And that's why I think you should, if you don't own any ounces of silver, now is a great time to start diversifying, right? I don't think it's very wise to have $100,000 in cryptocurrency and not one, shiny dime in precious metals. I think, realistically, if you're looking to hedge against inflation, I think that's basically what precious metals do. When they go up over time, it's essentially the money that you lost on the dollar going down over time. I think that's the simplest way to put it. When you look at precious metals and the store value that they have, gold and silver were both mentioned as currency in biblical times. So if you want to, diversify yourself, position yourself accordingly, you can think of precious metals as being value of the past. Blockchain technology is value for the future. I think if you have a pretty good position in both of those, then you will be hedged either way the dice may roll, right? When you look at the gold to silver ratio, this is what I think, really draws silver out as a strong buy at the moment. You got 200 years of the gold to silver ratio, right? Also known as the mint ratio. The gold to silver ratio represents how many ounces of silver are equivalent to 1 ounce of gold. Here's how it's changed over time. The biggest part you should take away from this chart, when this chart was first started, historically, the Roman Empire, by way of Caesar, officially set the ratio at 12 to 1, right? So they basically said 12 ounces of silver equals 1 ounce of gold, right? That has been distorted dramatically over time, as high as 100 to 1. At World War II, when they did their gold confiscation, this was 100 to 1. It was a huge discrepancy, right? It started at 12 to 1, went to 100 to 1. I think when you look at the gold and silver ratio right now, I think we're somewhere north of 80 to 1, right? Where are we at? Does this even tell us? It doesn't look like it does. Right here, right? So if you take today's number, yeah, we're right around 80, right? Past 10 years, it got again as high as 115. That's crazy. Right before COVID, during COVID, that was wow. That was happening. That was the time to buy right there. What this basically tells you is how fast gold is outpacing the price growth of silver, right? And so gold also had a very good breakout. Finally, some old people made a lot of money. They've been stacking gold instead of buying Bitcoin since 2012. But, Peter Schliff is pretty happy right now. This is the highest gold has ever been at $2,400. And to be honest, I think that's still a bargain. You look at gold, they say Bitcoin is digital gold. I think gold, all things considered, should easily be $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 an ounce. But today, in this, suppressed market, it's sitting below 2,500, right? I compare Bitcoin and Ethereum to gold and silver. Just the same as Ethereum is down, 90, I think it's 90, I want to say 19 to 1, right? If we look at Ethereum to Bitcoin on Binance, yeah, so it's almost 20 to 1. So Ethereum is 0.05 Bitcoin, right? Multiply that by 20, you get just about 1. So it's like 19 to 1, right? Whereas gold to silver was pegged to be 12 to 1. So again, I think that's an opportunity to buy Ethereum, knowing that, if it does follow the gold to silver ratio, then you got at least double your equity in that position moving forward, right? I think silver is, a strong investment at this moment. I've been telling people to buy silver for a few years now. I started stacking down at, $15 an ounce. That price has since doubled over the course of 5 to 10 years. So it does have some volatility, but I think, it's really just something about holding, 5, 10, 20 ounces of silver in your hand and make you feel like you got something. Versus you got a debit card. I can have $500 on this debit card, 500,000. You just swipe it, you don't feel anything. But when you got that weight, you know what I'm saying? When you could drop weight on somebody, like, here, take it. And silver, like, 999 it's pretty. Like, it's shiny, it glisten. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to buy silver, it's 2 websites you could go. One is apmex.com. This is basically like Amazon of silver, right? This is probably the best place to go. There's no referral links for you. You just go on there. You could buy spot silver, $34 an ounce, right? get this thing. They even take Bitcoin, right? Back in the day, they didn't even take crypto. But now you could trade your Bitcoin for silver if you so may choose, right? So it's pretty cool. Very, very simple. They do have a few dollars over spot, basically because, you know, they have their business to run on top of that. It's not, there you go, $3.50. So basically 10% over spot. It's not too crazy, but $35 will get you 1 pure ounce of 999 fine silver. And I think if history has shown us anything over the past, you know, few years that I've been doing it, this is a very, very, very strong investment at the opportunity. I would say, you know, if you wanted to be diligent, you know, and responsible, you probably should have no less than, I would say, 1 to 3% of your portfolio anchored in precious metals, and then maybe do a 80-20 split on that between silver and gold, right? That way you're still getting that 12-to-1 you know, correlation in your favor for if and when silver really breaks out and comes back on that 12-to-1 parity that it had set in the beginning of its cycle, right? Right now we're still over that, probably like 4.5-to-1. So if we just followed the 12-to-1 parity, right, whatever gold's price is, divide that by 12, right? 2351 divided by 12. That means silver should have a price of $195 right now if it was paired 12-to-1 with gold. It doesn't have that. Right now it has a price of $30, right? So I think that's the opportunity. I think a lot of these markets have been intentionally, as I showed you yesterday, manipulated and distorted and suppressed, just the same as some markets have been expanded and extended, you know, and brought out into a longer duration. Other markets, you know, have intentionally suppressed the price of precious metals, right? There's a lot of baby boomers out there been holding gold, you know, for 10, 20, 30 years. And to be honest, it might not have even kept up with the price of inflation, you know, until most recently. So now I think it's a different day and age. I think, you know, this is the money of the past. Bitcoin's the money of the future. And between the two of those, you have a great chance to hedge yourself and to profit, you know, handsomely from this transition of wealth we have to look forward to in our lifetime. So again, right, that's what I got for you guys. I hope you appreciate this video. If you do want to win some free Bitcoin, it's about that time. Rep your city. Shout your city out in the comments. I know we have a global community. I want to show y'all some love in every single video I do. So moving forward, this is how you win some free Bitcoin. Rep your city. And then I'm going to hit up the person. I'm going to send them a text message right now and let them know that they won some free Bitcoin, and I'll have that validated in the next video. So congratulations again to my man who won this free Bitcoin right here. And look forward to giving away some more free BTC and hopefully helping you to make money along the way. If you haven't done it already, again, hit that like button, subscribe, turn your notifications on. I'm giving you guys quality content to make some real deal money and hopefully change your longevity and your life along the way for the better, right? So with that being said, everybody, it's that time of the day. Signing out, boss. Boy BK, no matter where you stay, Brazil to Bay or California, all the way back out through Germany. Good night, good morning, and good day. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for your time. Hit that thumbs up button for a player one time. Do that for me if you appreciate mine. Till we meet again, stay cryptic, y'all. Peace.
Like a boss.
Huh. Like a boss.